Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 76 of Petey's Awesome Guest Panel. Now, before we introduce tonight's legendary guest star, I want to introduce tonight's guest co-host, once again returning and Power Ranger enthusiast, Mr. Kwame Jacobs.
Hey guys, I'm back for more, came prepared, and I'm glad to be back. Okay.
Awesome, brother. Now, let's introduce tonight's guest. Now, before I introduce this man, let me tell you a little bit about him. This is the man who in 2003 played one of the most badass monster generals in a Power Rangers series, and he's personally one of my favorites growing up. My guest at this time is iconic New Zealand actor Mr. Peter Zergain Rowley. Peter, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
Well, thank you, Peter. You're a very good man. And Kwame, so pleased to meet you.
Pleasure's all ours, Zergain.
We love Zergain. We love Zergain. Now, Peter, before we go into the Power Rangers Ninja Storm questions, I do have some typical cliche questions, and that would be, how did you get started into acting? Take me there.
Well, when I was a little boy, my parents split, and I thought it was my fault, so I adopted humor from a very early age, and if you do that with anything, you get quite good. And by the time I left school, I mean, I was almost thrown out for being funny when I should have been learning. And then when I left school, I did a few jobs, I did this and that, and then I joined the theatre because I just, I don't know, I just had a penchant for it because of what I just said, and I just fell in love with it. And yeah, if I ever wrote a book about myself, the title would be "Stop Showing Off."
I definitely want to ask you too, like, as an actor though, are there any like warm-ups or preparations you do as an actor to help prepare yourself for a role?
Oh, absolutely. If it's voice work, well, you know, any sort of work really, I do this. I do the tongue thing, which is roll the tongue 10 times that way, roll the tongue 10 times that way, and like this, like that. And because you've got to remember the tongue's a muscle, so you just got to get it all cracking along. And I do a whole lot of voice stuff like Piggy Babcock, Piggy Babcock, Piggy Babcock, tip of the teeth, tip of the tongue, tip of the teeth, tip of the tongue, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, and stuff like that.
Ah, very cool. And of course, I gotta ask you, like, as an actor though, like when you're in a role, like, and it requires you to cap on raw emotions. Like, if you were doing a scene with an actor in which you and that particular actor are, like, your characters get into a heated argument, and this actor says, listen, Mr. Raleigh, sir, like, if this scene requires us to get into a heated argument, like, I know this is going to sound very weird, but I need you to make me get angry for real. I need you to lay into me so that way it's believable. How do you respond to that approach?
Well, I'll give you an example. I was working on a movie a while back called Stephen King's movie. Anyway, I'm playing the part of a United States trooper, Tommy Knockers. That's what it was called, Tommy Knockers. And I was working with that guy, that American actor. I think his name Ashton. He was in that cop film with Eddie Murphy, a bald-headed guy. We drive madly in 2 squad cars up to a country police station because we fear the sheriff there is being killed, and we run in. The cars, bloody screech to a halt, and we run in through the front door. 2 weeks later, we shoot the interior of that scene in the studio, and everybody was, said, quiet on set, right, standing by, and all of a sudden that guy Ashton turned around and said, "Peter," and I, "What?" And he went and slapped me across the face. Oh, Jesus. And quiet on set, right, turn over, and he said, "Oh, hit me. What? Slap me, come on." And then action. And of course you rush him because nobody noticed that both of us had one red, side of our faces red. But that's how he did it. I'll never forget that, to get that energy flowing from a scene a couple of weeks ago. And so that's an indicator. But on the other hand, you act, I know the difference between, the English style of acting, American Stanislavski method and all that sort of thing, but you just bloody turn your brain on, and you know, you've obviously looked at the script, you know, many times. You know what you're going to do. Then it's up to the director. The director may come over, cut. Hey, Peter, I just want you to turn the volume up a wee bit on the anger there. Okay, all right, standing by. We do it all over again.
That's awesome, man. And
That is.
now, definitely want to talk about, and this is, you know, I absolutely loved your work on Power Rangers Ninja Storm as Zurgane. I want to ask you about, like, what was the audition like for Power Rangers Ninja Storm, and of course working with the cast, like especially Katrina Devine, Katrina Brown, and the late great Grant McFarlane.
Oh, it was just fantastic. I just got a call from my agent who said, look, they're casting for a new series of Power Rangers being shot here in New Zealand. And, you know, if you want, are you interested? I said, oh, yeah. And so I went in, and the casting director just said, right, the character that you're going for is Zurgane. Let's have a look at some voices. You know, and I almost straight away, because I'd seen a bit of footage of Zurgane. So I immediately went into, you know, I'm Zurgane. I'm going to wipe you off the earth. And he went, yep, that's it. And so I got a lot of work going into a studio week after week goes. It was amazing to do all the voices for stuff they'd already shot, you know. So, and the great thing is, as you know, I didn't have to lip sync.
Did you get to work with like, because I know, like, and this is why I wanted to ask you too. When I had Bruce Hopkins on the show, he said that it was different, like from the live action to doing the voice acting, like, and he went to a booth to record his line. Was it similar to you with doing Zurgane?
Yeah, I've been always in a booth, always in the studio. Yeah, I never did any of the live action stuff. It was, you know, a lot of the people, a lot of the monsters and things were voiced by other people other than the actual actor in the suit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kwame, you had a question?
Yeah. As playing as Zurgane, I bet you had a lot of fun, like patronizing Chubo. Because don't you think Zurgane and Chubo have a bit of a rivalry?
Oh yes, I think so. Yeah. But you know, Kwame, it's been a long time since I did this. Yeah, it's and I'm an old fart. Do you understand this? And yeah, so yeah, there was a bit of. I've just been catching up a bit of Power Rangers on YouTube, and memories slowly starting to come back. But you must forgive me. When was it? 90? It was mid-90s, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was
2003.
Yeah, 2003 is when Ninja Storm came out. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was in the 90s.
Ah, right. And you're English, Kwame.
Yes,
your accent, I love it. Man.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
We got a real mixture here.
Of course. Did you have a favorite Zurgane line or moment?
Well, yeah, I went back through one of them's I'm sick of Power Rangers. You know, who do you think you are? All that sort of stuff. I mean, there's heaps. I think the one I really like is I'm Zurgane. Fight me if you dare. Sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And also, I love there's two scenes I love. I mean, we all, like, Kwame and I both know that Zurgane is one of the most badass army generals, like, in a Power Rangers history. But I also love when and I talked about this with Kwame too. Like, I love when Zurgane has fun. Like, there's one episode, like in the beginning of Thunder Strangers Part 3, where they're like all the villains are having a dance party, and like you hear Myra and Capri go into Zurgane, tell them to dance, going, "Go Zurgane, go Zurgane,
oh yeah,
go Zurgane." and we see Zurgane doing like this, like all the dancing. It's like so cool.
Yeah.
Kwame, you had another question?
Yeah, I did. Let's see. Oh yeah, do you remember that episode where Zurgane actually took out all the Rangers all by himself?
No, I'm sorry. It's gone over my head there, that one. But well, of course, Zurgane would have, because he was Zergain. Take out anybody.
Yeah.
That's why he's so badass.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think Lothar wants him as his his second in command?
Yes.
Well, definitely. I mean, even the team of Chubo and Zergain. I mean, let's look at the facts here. Like Kwame, like Chubo actually captured both Blake and Hunter like in his case in the back, like and trapped them.
Yeah, I know.
And Zergain is so powerful that he can annihilate the Rangers with one flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
Oh, one flick of the sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I definitely got to ask you too. Did you have a favorite Power Rangers Ninja Storm episode?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, you.
Oh, look, as I said, it's been so long. I loved the whole lot. It was fantastic. But I know 2000, what is it, 2022? Excuse me. I've done a lot of stuff since then, and I mean, it's like I did that movie Mortal Engines not that long ago, and that was what 4 years ago, and you learn your lines diligently and everything. I can't remember them now because you focus on a set of lines. The production finishes, you move on, then you go into another production, and it kind of deletes what you did last time. You have vague memories, but it's not word for word. But I just I love the color and the action and working on Power Rangers was just amazing, and going into a booth in a studio with a big screen, watching the footage, and they would go, beep, 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 boom, and that's when you opened your gob and said, "I'm Zergain." And it was like that, and but you saw in a big screen Power Rangers, and it was very bloody energetic, wasn't it? It was really full on, and I enjoyed that. You just became enthusiastic, and you did a good job because the imagery in front of you was just so freaking full on.
Oh, absolutely. And like watching Ninja Storm, and here's what I loved about watching that particular season is that something good was gonna happen when you hear the first three like evil dominating voice like bum bum bum. You know that either Zergain's gonna come on the screen or Lothar, Myra, Capri, or Chubo. And when that scene comes on, it's just pure entertainment. It's evil but fun.
Yeah, of course. And even though nobody loses a limb, you know what I mean? Even though there's swords going in all directions and explosions, nobody really sort of, oops, here goes Zergain's arm. You know what I mean? I don't think that ever happened, did it? It's a bit like soft porn, I suppose. It's not something Sam Peckinpah would have enjoyed because there were no bullet hits and severed limbs.
Now, I got to ask Kwame, before you ask the next question, I want to ask too, because you took part in the Power Rangers Dino Thunder Ninja Storm crossover in 2004, where you reprised your role as Zergain because all the cast members from Ninja Storm come back. Memories of doing that crossover episode?
So I'm sorry, I didn't quite get that.
Oh, the question was doing the crossover episode between Power Rangers Dino Thunder and Power Rangers Ninja Storm in 2004, and where you reprised your roles as Zergain.
No, I think I stopped then.
Oh, that wasn't you?
Are you sure?
Look, I'm sorry, I can't remember. Maybe it's just far too much marijuana as a youth.
It's all right.
No, that's cool.
It's all right, man. Kwame, next question.
Yeah. So, what was it like playing as Zergain? Because it's always fun to be the villain.
You had to, when you went, it's like we were talking about before about preparing before you perform, whatever it may be. So I used to go into the booth and go
Yeah,
I'm Zergain. Okay, ready to go. And do stuff like that. I did a lot more than that actually, but you know what I mean. I'd imagine myself in that suit. I'd imagine myself as that character on the screen, me personally inside the suit. And so I used to do these, sort of weirdo Zergainy things in the booth. you know, and go ballistic. And quite often the studio guys just start cracking up because I'd be in the booth before they're waiting for me, you know. Come on, I am Zergain. I am going to destroy you. And they go, Jesus. All right, Raleigh, come on, let's go.
At least you were prepping yourself for it, though.
Yeah. And I think I got quite well paid for it too. I can't remember. It was, you know, it was a good earn. It was really good and enjoyable. And I just loved that, you know, you're testing. That's what I love about being a thespian. Being an actor, you know, you're always testing yourself. That's why I took up aviation. I have my pilot's license. And I do it as much as possible to test myself, you know, and always did that with acting. When I first started acting, I had a mantra because I had rather low self-esteem, believe it or not. Why I thrust myself in front of a camera, I don't know. But what I think it's probably because you're always hiding behind a character, eh? But yeah, you just punch yourself into the mold, and that's, you know, that's why I love doing this again, because well, I think I nailed it, don't you?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you did splendidly, man.
You were.
Just as well you said that.
May I say, Peter, that that you scared the piss out of me when I was a young boy.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
No, God, bless you for that, man. Because those are the memories I'll always remember of watching Power Rangers Ninja Storm. It's like it makes me go, "This is awesome. This is cool."
Wow. Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Over here we had a comic called Foot Rot Flats about farms, and the star of it was a dog, and they made an animated movie over here called Foot Rot Flats, The Dog's Tale, and I got the lead role in that, which was fantastic. And you said, there's another character. So, well, let's go play footy, mate. You know what I mean? And so you thrust yourself into all sorts of things. You know, it's that's why I love it. And that's why I like flying, because you're always learning, and you know, it's fantastic.
And you just answered one of the questions I already had about about the foot rot. What was it? Repeat that again, sir.
Foot Rot Flats.
Foot rot flats. I was actually one of my questions. The other question I had to ask too is like, because aside from being a voiceover and actor, you are also a writer too. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on working on the satirical sketch a week of it.
Well, a week of it, I didn't write much. I performed on it. It started in 1977 here. It was a satirical sketch show poking fun at politics, which had never happened before. Oh, and you know, we had a lot of fun. And then from that, I did more comedy. You know, from 1977 to about 1995 or 6, I was full-time actor. Then I worked with the Māori. Māori are the indigenous people of New Zealand. A Māori actor by the name of Billy T. James, and we just creamed it. You have a look on YouTube under Billy T. James, you'll see me there as a young man, and the ratings went through the roof. It was fantastic. It was unbelievable. I've done a few movies as well. You know, as I said, the last one was Mortal Engines, which was fantastic, but bombed at the box office. I worked with Tommy Lee Jones on a production called Savage Islands. You know, yeah, I've just had. Hey, I worked with Ryan Gosling when he was a kid. You know, he was over here doing Hercules,
right?
Yeah, and he was just I think about 16 or 17 back then, and I honestly thought, you know, he was a very nice young man, and I thought you're going. I think you've got something, and I reckon you're going to go places. The rest is history.
Beautiful, and of course, you mentioned, of course, Mortal Engines. Working on that project as Orme Raylan.
Yeah, Orme Raylan. Yeah, yeah. He was. Kwame, you should check Mortal Engines out. I mean, Weta Digital, who's, you know, they've just completed Avatar 2, 3, and 4, I think, over here. But Weta Digital did an amazing job, but unfortunately the script was a little disjointed at places, and the audience tended to lose their spot. You know, what's happening now? But the CGI, wow, it's just extraordinary. And I was so privileged to be a part of that. Yeah.
Epic. Just
cool.
epic. And of course, you also took part in Russian Snark as Neville. Memories of doing that?
Yes, Russian Snark.
What were fondest memories of that?
How do you know about that? Have you just done your research?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was kind of strange, but weird, but you know, really good. But yeah, I've had some pretty amazing productions, you know, to work on. I did one about the Skakel murder, you know, Greenwich, and worked with some who the hell was in there? It was pretty big actors. I worked with I'll tell you who I met, who was a really cool guy, Jimmy Smits.
Oh,
Remember
what's
him?
he like? Yes, I've heard of him. What's he like?
Yeah. Oh, really, really cool guy. The complete antithesis to Tommy Lee Jones, who didn't take prisoners, and he was. I had to call him a nasty name one day because he was a bit, you know, rough. And as soon as I did that, he became a mate. You know what I mean? What's that all about? But Jimmy Smith, well, what a cool dude. I worked with him on a Stephen King film called Tommyknockers. And, you know, I worked 2 weeks on, and then I'd go away for a couple of weeks, and then another 2 weeks back on deck. And I'll never forget, you know, I'd met him, but I was away. And then I came back, and I'm in the chow line, and there's a tap on my shoulder, and it's Jimmy. And he says, "Hi, Peter. How are you?" And I went, wow, how come he remembered me? You know what I mean? He's one of those guys, you know, and he gives you the time of day. And I'll never forget that. I've met a few people in this business who don't give you the time of the day because they're either narcissistic or just bloody arrogant, you know.
I
But
see.
you huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say, sir?
You know, sometimes you just meet people in this business who are not that nice, and they don't treat people nice. You see, I always make friends with the crew. That's number one. Make friends with the crew, because they're the ones that make you look good.
That's a fact.
Amen.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And
Yeah.
Kwame, did you have another question?
Oh yeah. Okay. You know that episode, right, where Tori went to this opposite world of Blue Bay Harbor? You know, where Lothar and his goons were the good guys?
Look, Kwame, I do apologize. No, I can't remember. And you know, maybe I should have dug up the entire series, but yeah, look, I do apologize, mate.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But
No,
I mean,
I can't remember the details.
oh, okay. There is a way
Yeah.
you can check them out. There are full episodes of Power Rangers Ninja Storm on the Power Rangers official channel. They have all the episodes of Ninja Storm.
Yeah,
Really?
I'll send you a link, Peter,
Yeah.
so you can watch.
Oh, cool. You know, I'd love to have a look back at it. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. It'd be
It
lovely.
should bring back memories for you, man.
Absolutely.
Eh?
It should bring back really good memories for you.
Of course. Fantastic. Yeah, I need a few memories.
Yeah. Because I was curious to ask, even though you can't remember, but that's all right. What was it like for Zergain to act like he was the good guy? You know, and the Rangers were the bad guys.
Oh, you know, it was like, you know, that voice, you know, I'm Zergain, and being nice, you know. Imagine trying to be nice with that voice, you know.
Yeah.
I think you're a really cool guy, and I want to go to bed. Kind of doesn't work, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Take your suit off when you come to my bed? Yeah, of course I can. Yeah.
I have to ask, Peter, because one of the most iconic New Zealand shows, soap operas, I believe it's a soap opera, is Shortland Street. Did you ever appear on Shortland Street?
Yes, I did. I did 5 episodes of Shortland Street as a totally untrustworthy creep of an accountant who was killed, finally killed in a car crash.
Oh.
So they got rid of me, but it was a storyline, not because I was misbehaving, you know. And yeah, it was quite cool because at one stage I end up in the hospital at Shortland Street, and the wife comes in and says, "You told me you're going to Taupo, which is a big lake here, trout fishing." I said, "Yeah, I did. We didn't get many trout." "Well, then, if you did, how come you've got dengue fever, which you can only catch in Thailand?" Yeah. So I had a great time. But you know, those soap operas, and I guess it's the same in America. It's like a sausage machine. You know what I mean? You know, they just go boom, boom. They do, you know, one or two takes, right, next to next set. You know, the cameras, you know, shoot round a corner into another set, and boom, that's done. Boom. It's not the kind of show that I really enjoy, but nevertheless, yeah, I did a bit of work on that.
Oh, okay. And now I'm gonna sound like an absolute nerd when I ask this question. Like when I'm not dieting on a strict diet, I'm a huge foodie. And I was curious to know, like, out of all the production companies you worked on, which had the best catering?
Mortal Engines.
Okay.
Here's one. I did a movie called Prisoner some years ago.
Yes, it's
And
Hapstood, right?
pardon me?
As Hapstood? Your character's
No,
Hapstood, right?
oh yes, God, you have done your research. My goodness. Yeah, and what was his name? David Hemmings was in it, and you know, Shirley Knight, American production. And when we were on location catering, which you know, talking of foodie, a fantastic location catering company in the middle of nowhere in big marquee, and you're getting, you know, a menu, you're getting beautiful food and everything. But the Americans, Tatum O'Neill's in it too. I used to call her Spud, Tatum Potato, and the Americans in the big dining tent, they had nice proper silverware, and everything was all sweet, you know, and little bits and bobs. The New Zealanders just had plain wooden tables, plastic, blah blah blah. So we all got together, threw some money into the pot, and went and got ourselves beautiful tablecloths, candelabra, extraordinary lovely silverware and stuff like that. And we even hired a violinist to play down our end. And all the Americans came in, and from that day on, they integrated with us.
Oh.
From that day on, they just, yeah, you're quite bloody right. And you know, we all became friends, and you know, but at the beginning it was a bit, you know, but we solved that.
Very cool, man. Very, very cool. And of course, you mentioned the Billy T. James show. Memories of working on that.
Oh man, and that's when I really got to write as well, and you know, it was amazing to find somebody in the thespian world, come on, thespian world, whom I clicked with. Do you know what I mean? It very rarely happens in this business, and I clicked with this man. Billy T was fantastic at accents, and beautiful singer. You know, extraordinary man. He was almost as dark as you, Kwame, but when he started talking like that, you forgot what the hell he looked like. You know what I'm saying? He used to do the accent so well, and I just loved the man, and I spent 5 years with him, writing and performing, and it was the highlight really of my comedic career anyway.
Do you prefer, out of the three, voiceover, acting, or writing? Which of the three did you like best doing?
Ooh, that's a toughie. That's a toughie. acting,
Oh,
acting. But I love the other two too. I mean, you know, the different skills, you know, and the writing side of it is the true art. You know, the acting is the craft. The acting is the interpretation of the art, the writing, and you know, that's what I enjoyed about Billy T. James, is doing both. You know, I'd performed stuff that I wrote, and it just felt right. Yeah.
that's absolutely admirable and very like definitely much respect for you for doing that, because not only are you on screen, but you're doing off screen work too, like with writing. So I definitely give you many kudos on that one, sir.
Thank you. But it all drove me to drink, and this is my new product. This is Laughing Club Gin. It's a pink gin, and it's doing very well.
That's cool.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to ask, because you dabbled in both protagonist and antagonist. Which role did you like better?
Antagonist. I mean,
it's always fun playing this bad guy, as Kwame said.
Like I said, it's always fun to be the villain. Literally, yeah. I mean, being the hero is good, you know, but I mean, playing the villain, it's just more fun, so you can cause more mayhem and destruction.
Yeah, usually the villain is you know, out there punching out, you know, as opposed to you know, it's punch out. I like the punch out bit.
That's sweet, man. Just sweet. Before I just got a couple more questions before we wrap up, of course. And that would be one of them is like when doing Ninja Storm, did you and Bruce Hopkins get to like record lines together, or it was just separate?
It was usually separate because you know, actors were called into. I'm trying to remember. Maybe there was a couple of times where the dialogue was enough for both of us to you know, go bunga bunga bunga, but generally speaking, it was, you know, you go in, you do your bit, and you know, you leave, and you've got the script, you know what, you know, I say something like I'm sick of Power Rangers, and the other person is going to say you'll find out that would be a big mistake, and my next line, I know, has to be, who do you think you are? You know, you just look at the script and you know the dialogue, but generally you did it by yourself.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Kwame, did you have any final questions before we wrap up?
Yeah, I do. Did you what was it like actually hanging out with the actual Rangers, like, you know, the actors that played as them?
Oh, well, they used to come into the ADR, which is, you know, laying down, you know, laying down later all these grunts and groans and all that sort of thing. And I used to work with them, and in fact, I used to run that. I was the director of that, you know, in the studio, and there'd be 4 or 5 people in there at once, and you know, you'd use those two to do a fight scene, to do the grunts and groans and everything that are laid down later. Yeah, and very cool, lovely atmosphere. Yeah.
Nice.
Did you get to work like, did they come on set too, like the people that played Lothar, which I believe was Grant McFarlane, and of course Myra Capri, who were played by Katrina Devine and Cat Brown?
I never went on set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, my final question for you, sir, is what's next for Peter Raleigh? Now, this is, of course, the part of the show where because my show is an open forum, this is the part where my guest stars can talk about anything they want. I'm passing the proverbial microphone over to you, sir. So the floor is now yours, Mr. Raleigh.
What's for me next?
Yes. What plans do you have, like, in the future?
Yeah, like, talk about anything you want.
Well, at the moment, this is my own gin. I created this brand, Laughing Club Gin. Wee bit to do with the comedy, I suppose. But I just won. You'll notice there's a where is it? There, a silver medal. It's very well made. In the New Zealand Spirit Awards are not easy, and so I'm doing that, and I go around the country selling it, wearing this silly mask, and
I love that mask.
and that's what I'm doing at the moment. I might be doing a film later in the year, in about 3 months, up in Auckland, It's all been sort of worked on. Can't say too much about it, but I'm so pleased to get, you get old man roles now, don't you? And so there's that. But really, at the moment, I'm creating a distillery. I use all those skills that I used in acting and things to sell my gin. And I go around and I do little shows and tastings and all around New Zealand. And hopefully one day, I'm going to come on over there and give you fellas a taste of my moonshine. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I dabble a wee bit in the acting thing, but at the moment I'm just really having so much fun traveling around as a bootlegger. Yeah.
And of course, Peter, I definitely got to ask this question to Zergain, and Kwame, you will remember this too. I recall one time in one episode where Capri goes to Zergain and says, "Gee, Zergain, for someone who doesn't have a mouth, you sure do talk a lot." Would Zergain like to not only respond to what Capri said, but send a message to both Myra and Capri?
Myra, Capri, finally, I have you in my sights. I am Zergain, and you are on borrowed time.
I gotta say, before we conclude, Peter, let me just say thank you for not only an absolute amazing interview, but thank you for those childhood memories you gave both myself and Kwame watching Power Rangers growing up.
Yeah.
We'll never forget those memories. And like I said, like Bruce Hopkins, you are truly one of the GOATs. And I'm not talking about the animal, I'm talking about greatest of all time as far as monster generals. And one last thing before we conclude, and that is something that you deserve, and that is thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter. Zergain rules. Thank you so much for this interview. I'm going to send you a copy of this. Bless your heart, sir. And this was an awesome thing. Thank you so much. And thank you, Kwame, for coming back on, man.
Anytime.
Bye-bye.
My pleasure. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and all the best to you both.
You too, sir. Take care.
It was an honor to meet you.